Hi awesome people, David and Jen here from JnD Trails, where we believe humans were made to explore. Welcome to this week's episode as we continue our adventures through South Australia. We're picking up where we left off the last episode in Peterborough, making our way through South Australia up to the Northern Territory and Kulgera Roadhouse, just north of the Northern Territory border. We started off in Peterborough, a charming old railway town with so much history. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't on our side. Shocking wind and rain kept us from seeing much. Even the railway museum had to pause tours due to equipment issues, which was a bit of a shame because we were looking forward to seeing it. And, however, we will be back. From there, we drove to Port Augusta. The views on the way were pretty spectacular. Rugged hills meeting coastal scenery. It was super windy though, and honestly way too many people around to stop and take photos. We stocked up with groceries and of course grabbed some grog for the road trip. On the way we dropped off at Lake Hart Rest Area. Gorgeous little place, the Salt Lake, sunshine and sunsets were bloody fantastic. Next we went to Woomera. Fascinating little town, rocket testing ranges, and a living piece of Australia's space and defence history and past. However, still working today. Seeing all the rockets and aircraft on display really gave us a sense of how important this place once was and still is. Then we got to Cooper. The next day, we got up early on the road to Cooper, the famous opal mining town. And wow, what a place. It seriously feels like you're stepping back into another planet. And the landscape looks like Mars, if you can imagine that. We spent a couple of days exploring the highlights like Faye's underground home and the beautiful Serbian Orthodox Church and the big winch lookout, and we did the 360 experience as well. Had lunch at the big winch and that was spectacular. Very, very, very yummy. But honestly, the whole town is full of quirky ideas, one-of-a-kind stop, and it must be a must-see for anybody if you're going through the area. Then we went to the Breakaways. As we left Cooper, we drove through the Breakaways, an incredible landscape, towering, colourful cliffs, wide open plains, and otherworldly feels that make you feel like you've landed on Mars. Absolutely stunning. I know we keep saying it's stunning and spectacular, but seriously, it is breathtaking. Finally, we pushed our way into the Northern Territory, wrap up this leg of the trip at Kulgera Roadhouse, known as the first and last pub in the Northern Territory, depending on which way you travel. It's a classic outback stop, friendly people, cold drinks, and plenty of character, and a great palmy. So that's this week's episode. From Peterborough all the way to Kulgera Roadhouse, ending week 1 and kicking off week 2 of our adventures. Thanks for joining us on our trails. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Really means a lot to us. And let us know in the comments where you think we'll be off to next and what you like and what you don't like. See you on the next trail. Thanks for watching.